think with Tunbridge Wells, you know, our reputation is that we're very, very wealthy town, and
we're so wealthy.
We have amazing resources, and actually, our reputation hides a lot of health inequalities that exist in our borough.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of The Big Chat. I am Coco, your host for today's episode, and I am, as with this theme that we're having for the first quarter of 2023, we're looking at all different amazing, inspirational people that are helping people like me, people like you, families, children, friends, relatives with anything to do with mental health or well-being in general. Personally, I was on my own mental health journey for the latter part of last year. Believe it or not, I nearly had a nervous breakdown just before the soapbox race. Managed to get through that, and then probably did have a bit of a nervous breakdown, but fortunately, I've now come out of that, but I'm very much about supporting after Christmas because it is a tough time this time of year. It's Christmas can bring a lot up for a lot of us. It can be a joyful time, but it can also be a time when we remember those that are with us, that aren't with us, that what we have got, what we haven't got. The list is endless. So I really wanted us to focus these few episodes between now and March all around ways that we can help, things that we can do, and also to highlight some amazing charities. I had the pleasure of being invited to Pushkin Antiques. If you don't know it, it's on the high street. Absolutely amazing place, run by beautiful, beautiful people. You need to go in there and see them and meet them. And I was invited to an auction evening where they introduced me to our guests. Myself and my partner Gary left a little bit poorer in the pocket, but a little bit fuller in the heart. That's all I'm going to say, because it was just amazing what we heard. And I was just straight away compelled to talk to these people about what they do. And so I'm delighted to introduce you to Ray and Jen from Mental Health Resource. Hello.
What a lovely introduction.
Yeah. Wow, it's true, isn't it?
Thank you.
I mean, it's true. I mean, it literally was. We came to that night, we had three events, and we came to your event first, and we just both stood there and we're just flabbergasted by your story, Jen. Your story
thank you.
was very compelling. And yeah, to see someone, and you know, people may think that I find talking very easy. I mean, I do find it easy, but I get very nervous on talking about things that are close to my heart. Yeah. So I really felt you when you were talking. I think everyone in the room did. And I think that's, I think you had a good night that night, didn't you?
Yeah, it was amazing. The support was unbelievable for our charity.
Yeah.
Thank you for donating.
You're very welcome. I mean, listen, I've got an amazing vintage Chanel necklace. Thank you very much, boyfriend Gary Jeffrey. And an amazing piece of work by Humour, street artist. Who we're talking to later today. So.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, he's been so supportive as well with putting together this beautiful piece of artwork which
we're going to be talking about.
Excellent.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that.
Obviously, Alex and Olga Pushkin were so generous.
They're amazing, aren't they?
Oh, wow. Lovely people just offering up that space for us and supporting our charity event. Yeah. And then everyone who came and supported on the night, it was just so wonderful. I think we raised about £13,000.
13,000?
Yeah,
that's
I think it was
brilliant.
13,000. And I was obviously able to share information about what we do as a charity. Yeah. Also my own personal experience with my own mental health and my journey with anxiety through the years and panic attacks. And then obviously last year I lost my sister to suicide as she battled with psychosis for 8 months previously. So it's everyone I think is affected by good mental health, bad mental health throughout the course of their life. I mean, we're all affected by it. So thank you for welcoming us and giving us a platform to spread the word about what we do as a charity to support people in our community.
Well, no, that's what that's what we're all about. And I mean, so how long has mental health, and Ray, other than sitting there looking very suave, and Handsome.
I will join in. I was just listening because I wasn't there on the night.
I know you weren't. I would have noticed you.
I was meant to have been there, but I couldn't get there, and I'm actually quite jealous. But it was a good night, so yeah, well done, Jen. You know, you arranged an amazing night, and amazing amount of money that we can use going forward.
Exactly. There's so much you can do with that. So what's your part in all of this, Ray?
Mine is I'm actually the hub manager of Mental Health Resource, which is the hub is based in Tunbridge Wells.
Yeah.
I've been there for 5 months now.
Have you? You're a wee baby.
It feels like he has been there forever. He's done such amazing things.
It's a bit, going back to what you said, Jan. It's literally, you know, when you go through life and you chase your dreams of where you want to go or what you feel your calling is.
Yeah.
I'm, for 30 odd years, I was working in the NHS and private sector.
Were you?
With health one way or another. But I always found that I was getting called back to mental health.
Yeah.
And through my own, issues that I've had through the years, you know, and I'm very much a transparent person. Yeah. You know, I am a recovering alcoholic.
Me too.
Yeah. And
high five.
High five.
High five. Yes. Fellow.
Yeah. And, but I'm a firm believer that, the people that I'm working with, the clients, I can give them my experience, what I've gone through. But like Jen, I've also lost someone very dear, my younger brother.
Oh,
he
I'm sorry to hear that.
was 7 years younger than me, and he died because of drug and drink.
Goodness me.
He never got through it, and some people don't. But mental health resource, I am passionate about beyond belief. It's like, because it focuses on mental health. It's not focusing on 20 different areas, which is fine. Yeah. But how much can you give all them areas? Yeah. Whereas if you focus on one that you're good at, then it goes on. It's just beyond words.
Absolutely.
Of what you can give back. So
and it's very interesting you say that, because actually, obviously the soapbox race, we're
thank you.
Excited. Yeah, we'll chat. Well, we have to. I mean, obviously, I'm also the founder of the Tunbridge Wells Soapbox Race, and I'm blowing my own trumpet here. But we do raise money for lots and lots of charities, and each cart has their own chosen charity. Yeah. And we're going to do the Chatty Hatter. It's going to be supporting you. So
you're so kind. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. I will absolutely. I think there'll be more than one cart racing for you. So there'll be many people that will be raising money for you. But no, the Chatty Hatter cart. The big chat cart will be is going to be racing for Pickering again, but the Chatty Hatter cart will be racing for mental health resources.
Thank you.
That's my other PR agency that obviously puts all this together. So we're super excited to support you and have you along on the day and meet people, and just because as you just touched on there, the reason I launched the soapbox or was so compelled to do the soapbox was because a very close friend of mine, Robert. He actually got lung cancer, and it went in 3 months, but he was an alcoholic for sure, and was drug addiction. There was lots and lots of addictions going on there with his mental health that we desperately were, as his friends, trying to help him through. And he died months before my father, and that was 3 months before the first soapbox. So we very much honour them and his family. And, I've just had a week with all of our friends that we talk about deep stuff, we really talk about the stuff that matters, not the shallow surface. And it's all good. Do you know what I mean? And it's those are the people that I like to be around now. If there's anyone that's not like that, I tend to quietly walk away from that now.
Totally understand. And I think, exactly. I think we've said this, we've had many discussions, haven't we? And I totally get what you're saying, because I can't be doing with just kind of, little chit chat. It has to be proper talk.
Yes.
What I call, and just listen, just talk and be honest with each other. Yeah. And that's totally it, isn't it?
I think that's why we offer such an important place in Tunbridge Wells and throughout West Kent with our other projects as well. Yeah. Just a safe space for anyone who feels lonely and isolated to come and be a part of something like a family that they might not have outside of our building and our projects. Because talking is so invaluable to recovery, to moving through periods of anxiety, to kind of feeling connected to other people and having a sense of identity in the community. I think a lot of our clients, you'll be able to to speak more about this, I'm sure, Ray, but a lot of our clients feel so disconnected from the wider activity. And so for them, I think what we do is offer a voice as well as a safe space. So I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. It totally makes sense. And I'm sure, it's something that we've said before, we kind of now back at the hub, coming out of lockdown and everything's changed anyway. And so we've had to reevaluate where we are, what we do and how we can support. So, we've now started doing the drop-in centre again. So there's no hidden motive. The door is open. Come in. And just enjoy it. Yeah.
It's really interesting because the thing is that what you offer and what was attracted me to Pickering last year was that they offer that for cancer patients. Yeah. It is literally a drop-in hub. It's like you mentioned, it's like a family, it's like a home, it's like a resource where people can go. And my dad died of cancer and I knew about Polly and I knew about Pickering, but not enough to go there. I've been able to now fortunately pass on that information as you are with what you do. So these people that leave us, like Robert and your sister and your brother, it's so sad. And my partner lost his brother at an early age. They're like angels because they pass on a message that then really does help other people. Yeah. I really believe that. I really think they're very special people that 100%. Have gone through a lot of pain, but they were very strong and they've passed on a strong message. Totally, because like you say, you're a recovering alcoholic. Well, would you have been a recovering alcoholic had you not lost all these things? But it's normalizing them all, isn't it? It's like, I have no problem now saying that I drank because I was stressed out and it made me into not a very nice person because I was suppressing how I felt, and that was my medicine was get to a Friday and drink 3 bottles of Prosecco and and then I'd spend the rest of the weekend. I didn't do it when I had my children, I just like to hasten to add, but I would then spend the next 3 days in bed miserable, like literally it's a depressant.
Exactly.
I'm not going to make this all about that, but it is there's not enough information for people to come and talk about what they're feeling, how they're feeling.
Definitely.
How long's the hub been there? How long's it been there?
We actually opened in 1993.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think, is that 30 years?
It's 30 years. It's 30 this year. We're actually going to be doing something.
Yes, we will. I'll get around to it.
Wow.
So we've been active in the community since 93. And then over that time, we've had more and more projects set up. For example, we have a reach out group that takes place in Edenbridge, Paddock Wood and Southborough. We've got a reach out youth group for 13 to 19 year olds, and that is Tunbridge Wells and Tunbridge.
Amazing.
And if anyone, any young person listening to this would like to come along, or just for a trial session even, then please go onto our website. We're open to receive people.
I think the thing is with what we do as well at the hub and our other areas, what we have is, like you say, we don't actually dictate a time that you have with us. We get funded from some areas that only give it for 8 weeks or whatever. If it works, then we will try and get the money hence through Jen, fundraising, to actually then take that further, so it's just ongoing.
That's amazing.
Because it can take you 8 weeks to actually open your mouth and say something. So we want it, mental health and any kind of support is long term. It's not over in 6 weeks.
No, it's not. And it's not. No. And also, it's, as you know, the people that it affects. It's the people around that it affects. It's like, you might think that you've sort of fixed or solved or found a solution that's working for you, the person, but it's the people that have been affected around you, the family. Like, my 11 and 13-year-old have had 5 years of a quite miserable mother, quite frankly, who's hidden it very well on the outside, but on the inside has been really, really struggling. And kids aren't silly. They pick stuff up. They're like little sponges.
Give them more credit than we do.
Well, it takes them a long time.
It does.
To adjust.
Can I ask you, actually on that, because this is something that's quite dear to me and what we spoke about on the way here, with regards to, it's about tools for the surrounding family and friends. Whereas we can focus on the individual that is going through whatever and help them find and guide and whatever with what support. But my thing is to make sure that family are aware that there is no right or wrong.
No.
But this is what you might expect to get and what might happen, and learn from your experience with. And that's what we do with a lot of family members.
Brilliant.
Is to kind of let them know that their child, their sister, their mother, their whatever,
everyone's affected.
Everyone, you know, these things happening. How can we help you get through there?
Yeah. That is amazing, and that is again, like I say, why I love Pickering, because it was if I'd had myself and my sister looked after him in his later months. He was waiting for a liver transplant for a year, and then he managed on another 10 years, and then he was very, very sick for a long time, and everyone had sort of moved away, so I looked after him. And the pressure that was on me, you know, I didn't realise at the time. I mean, apart from the fact I weighed about 6 stone, that was probably an inclination that I wasn't coping very well.
Yeah.
But it literally, you know, if I'd known there was that support network, or if I'd tapped into it, but I didn't. I just dealt with it all on my own because I'm a doer, and I'll get on with it. I'll do it. And then, of course, you know, when my dad passed and my friend passed, the lid came off. I mean, it just did. How can it not? It's got to come out sooner or later.
Yeah.
The Prosecco kept it down for a little while.
Where did you go to for support at that time?
Well, what did I do? I did a thing called the Hoffman process, which I did a year after my father passed. Yeah, because I had quite a painful upbringing. My father was quite violent when I was younger, and then I was his first 20 years he was a bit of a handful, shall we say, literally. Sorry. And then the second 20 years I was his sort of chief carer. So it was a funny old one. So it was going to be, there was going to be a bit of a blow up somewhere at some point in my life. But it happened when he passed, and I was with him when he passed. And then my best friend Robert, we'd been estranged for a few months. We got back in touch just before, because unfortunately he was in the clutches of drugs and alcohol, and he was not in a good way, and he had great paranoia. And I still remember the day his sister rang me and said, "We need you to come back in and speak to him, because you make him laugh. You know, we need." Yeah. But so I still feel guilty even now that I didn't get to be around him as much. But the soapbox is very much in honour of them both. But it was, the family is still so, you know, we all, my star tattoo is for Robert. I've got a bumblebee behind my ear for my dad. There's all these little things that you do, and there's all these things that you help, but it's the support. And again, our friends, one of our friends in our close group, her mother's just passed away, and she spent the weekend with us, and it was because we were all together and able to talk openly as we do, which is quite rare. Yeah. It's like we've created this community within ourselves. Yeah. But for me personally, I did the Hoffman process. I then trained to be an NLP coach master. Wow. Yeah. Coached other people. Did that for a while. Realised that I could do that very well, but then realised that I was... I mean, I'm very authentic. I can't really I can't talk the talk unless I walk the walk. And I was feeling pretty sad, so I stopped coaching. And I just did the soapbox, got through the soapbox, and then had a month off, and then gave up alcohol. Yeah, you know, the big triangle way. That's the way I went. Yeah. I joined the forces and dive straight in, and I can honestly say for the last I'm coming up to 5 months, that's been an amazing power in my life, because it's given me the tools for living. It's not giving me the tools for not drinking, it's given me the tools for living. Totally. That's literally what I've learned. And you know, I've been a yoga teacher in the past, meditation teacher. Funnily enough, Anna Robert Shaw and Matt Dunford from Fine Grind, we tried to set up a charity during COVID called the I Am Life Project, which was going to support children getting back into community after COVID. Right. I mean, I take my hands off to anyone that does a charity. I mean, the soapbox is my company. I don't make any money out of it, but charity's like, you know, that's a big thing. So I have a lot of admiration for you, because I had to step away from, there's only so much you can do, like you say. You need to focus on one thing. So I think for me personally, my journey, alcohol is my Achilles heel. Oh, okay. That's my you know, block out what I'm thinking. Once I'm clear up there, then I can kind of, and I meditate, and I do my rituals, and like we were just talking, books that I read. And you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So be wise who you spend your time with. You know, absolutely. You spend time with good people, it rubs off good. If you you got to be really, really careful without sounding like toxicity. No, you're right, that word. But if you are around toxic people, or people that aren't aware of themselves or self-aware and prepared to do that journey, honestly, it will rub off on you, and you won't even notice it's happening until you're not around it.
It's so true. You're so right.
Don't you think?
I totally experienced that, and you know, I can now count my dearest friends on that hand,
and that's a blessing.
Yeah, and all these people that I know, they're acquaintances, but I know who's a danger to me and not. and have to be aware of that all the time because and I think anything, whether it be an addiction to something, any kind of mental health where you're vulnerable, I think you have to be aware of the toxic nation around you. It's true, like you say, you know, people don't always think about what they say before they say it.
They don't. And the damage it does. And also it's the damage it does to your children. You know, we were just talking to an author about children's books, and it's the impact it has on the children as well. And like you say, so you offering that support for the families is amazing. So you've been going for 30 years. I mean, that's phenomenal. It's been going for 30 years. So this tells about your projects a bit. So you've got the hub, which is your wellbeing centre. You've got the Reach Out Youth, which is, like you mentioned, the fun and creative wellbeing groups. Wow. I mean, yeah, no wonder you know Hugh at Humour. I can think of a few more people to get you in touch with.
Thank you.
Reach Out. I love that. Confidential self-help peer support groups.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
It is all about, and I will say our groups are all about, which is just said there, peer support. We facilitate.
That's amazing.
Because they learn from each other.
Yes.
The tools are shared.
Yes.
And they also, the tools that don't work, they share. And I think it's about finding what works for each other, doesn't it? So
that's brilliant.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. And Assert, I like that. A specialist advocacy service for those detained. I mean, because it's like there's still this stigma. It just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, get rid of these stigmas. It's like, you know, the other day I was saying again to someone, it's such an old analogy, but you know, if you put your hand on a door and you banged it, you wouldn't keep shutting the door on your hand. And if you broke your leg, you get sympathy for having a bad leg. You know, my friend gets saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling myself." She's just lost her mother. I'm like, seriously,
why are you apologising?
Why are you apologising? If you had a broken leg and you were sitting there, everyone would be making a fuss of you. You've got a broken heart right now. I mean, seriously.
It's because you can see it. If you can't see it, then people don't.
No.
Well, I think with Tunbridge Wells, you know, our reputation is that we're very, very wealthy town, and
we're so wealthy.
We have amazing resources, and actually, our reputation hides a lot of health inequalities that exist in our borough.
It does.
We support people from areas which are actually not very high up on the wealth index, such as Sherwood and Rustall, High Brooms.
But even in the middle of town, because we have clients that come to us and they are living in supported living in the middle of town next to £1 million plus houses. But they get overlooked and you blink and you miss them. So
it's just honestly, it's like with the food banks. I'm sure you know. It's like with the Hungry Holidays campaign that Nourish do, and we always support them at the Soapbox. Literally, they have a lot of affluent parents that during holidays, especially single, you know, I'm separated from my husband. I've been 5 years. We co-parent very happily, but we've had our financial struggles, and you wouldn't think it, but we have. And it's hard in the holidays. You've only got to feed your children every day. That's the whole of the holidays.
That's true.
There's all these things that happen, and you're right. There's that thing with Tunbridge Wells, that old Tunbridge Wells has got, you know, all this wealth and all this la-di-da, and we're great. I mean, we're great British at putting on.
Oh God, aren't we just?
You know, I mean, it's. I remember once walking in somewhere. I'm sure I've shared this before, but I went into lunch with someone, and I was with a friend of mine, and it was all her friends, and they went, "Oh, you're that woman that has that wonderful, amazing life on an Instagram." And I was like, it was a time I'd gone on holiday with my husband at the time to Ibiza, and we'd treated ourselves because my dad was dying to a villa in Ibiza that was a bit over our budget. We put it on a credit card, and you know, everyone saw the pictures and thought, you know, wow, God, she's
doing
like
great,
superstar, you know. And it was like, if they'd seen behind the scenes what was going on.
People don't see behind the facade, though,
they don't see behind the scenes.
They only see what they want to see. Totally.
No, so it is getting down to the nitty gritty, isn't it?
And exactly, and that's why we make sure that we offer completely free services, so people don't have to pay anything to come and access our support.
They can self-refer as well, which is great.
Wow.
You don't have to wait for a GP or someone to refer you. They will refer themselves.
So you know that from being in those services, how tough that is.
It's horrendous. You know,
it is horrendous.
Most GPs now you can't even get to see. So,
you can't. I mean, my sister,
to get referrals, there's no way. You know, you've got no chance. Yeah.
My sister was a captain in the army, and then she went to be a GP, and she I mean, I hope, sorry, Sarah, if you mind me saying this, she's not a GP anymore, but she just found it really frustrating in the NHS. I mean, she just wanted to help everyone, and she just couldn't. She just, because of the structure, it was just, you know, it's no offence, we're very lucky to have the NHS, but it was just
I can relate, and because as I said, mine was NHS as well, and private, and I come out of it because it's so many managers that I just kept hitting different red tape, not getting there. And I got, you just get disheartened. And so the private sector, charity work is hard.
Yes.
But I get so much more from it because
absolutely.
You're spending that money, and we are very particular. Every penny has to be accounted for, not wasted.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it horrible to the NHS, but that's certain parts of it is why it is, but we need it, but we need to work together, and that's the thing.
Totally. And on that note, I feel as the fundraiser that I really need to just thank everyone in the community who has supported us over the past, I've been there for 5 years, and the community support has grown and grown considerably because I think that you were talking about stigma earlier, but people now really want to play an active role in supporting wellbeing in our community. And so we're lucky enough to be supported by companies and individuals and volunteers, and we're so grateful to anybody that can just give 5 minutes up to a regular donation, whatever it is in between, of their time or their money. We're so grateful to everybody who's able to support our little small charity.
Need to get all these people getting carts at the soapbox.
Oh, that would be amazing.
If you get these businesses, they can raise for your charity.
Absolutely, because their money will make a huge difference.
You'll have your own Just for Giving page. It will go straight to you. I don't touch the money. I do not touch the charity money.
That's a great thing you do, though, in memory.
I won't. I remember, and I won't name them or shame them, but someone telling me I was totally bonkers because I did an event that was for charity, but I didn't, if I lose money, which I have lost over the years, but I've raised £83,000 for charity across the 3 that I've done.
My goodness,
and all that money's gone to the charities. I don't touch it. The carts, they get, if I lose money on the day, that's my gamble.
Wow.
That's me. I raise money, I fundraise myself, put the event on. With the support businesses, because same as you, I can't put that event on for the community without the ticket sales, without the support. But the carts, not only is it a great way of getting people together and the just the joint thing, that's
it's a great networking and all
but
that,
it all goes to the charity. And we had one cart last year raised £7,000
wow.
in one cart.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So if you've got businesses or businesses out there that are supporting you guys and they want to do something fundraising that's fun, they get they enter, they get a chassis, and then that's it. I mean,
that
obviously
would be incredible.
We're racing the hat for you, but it will be, it's a great way of networking.
It is.
We should do. I want to do that.
Let's do it.
We should.
Yes, we'll do it.
I mean, you can have a hat. You've got my hat is raising for you, but you're obviously talk to me about doing a cart, because we do have charity centre.
Okay.
Do carts. So
I'd love to do a cart.
you get a chassis. Don't worry. You do get a very nice chassis.
Oh,
that's
amazing!
Well, that sold
Let's do it.
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
we're in.
I didn't mean to sell on the episode. Sorry about that. But I mean, what else do you need at the moment? What else do you need? What is it? What is your?
What we need is basically people to know we're there.
Yes,
that is the main thing.
Where is your address?
Okay, so we are 2A Grosvenor
Park. Not Hilbert and Grosvenor Park.
Where is
so do you know where the old job centre used to be? At the top end of town, at the top of Grosvenor Road.
Yes.
So before you get to the job centre,
near the pizza place.
Yes, it's down that road. That's Grosvenor Park.
That's Grosvenor Park.
And we're a big blue building at the top on the right hand side as
2
you're going
doors down
so
from the
opposite
pizza.
5 Arrows, the tattooist.
With, a 30
opposite
second
that road.
walk.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Tell all my little things.
Yeah.
But it stands out, doesn't it? So and that's it. We're opposite there down that road, and I mean I'm trying to get out there and get more. We're getting posters out there and all that with the news groups we've got coming up. So, but anyone's got any questions, just come and speak to us, because if we can help, if not, we will share with our other partners, because that's the thing. We won't do something we can't do, but we will point them in the right direction.
So is the main push for this year, would you say, is awareness, getting more awareness behind the charity?
I mean, awareness in the sense that we would love for more clients to access our services, take part in our wellbeing activities, which range from creative writing, arts and crafts, an allotment group, which is hugely popular.
The walking groups, that's all about the well-being of the individual.
And are you working with schools as well? Are you in with schools?
So our Reach Out Youth support worker and the Reach Out manager are both in contact with schools in the area to try and encourage young people to join our services if they'd like to. And the Reach Out Youth group do loads of amazing, wonderful things like pizza making and pumpkin carving and
brilliant.
They have guest workshops, they have CV workshops.
Brilliant.
There's so much going on.
I go to the Reach Out Youth because it's the best part of the end of my week to
bet.
be there with them and have a laugh because they are
I
such a
bet.
good crowd.
Yeah.
That age group. You know,
Honestly,
so, yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. And, you know, certainly if I can help you with any of that, because I've obviously got quite good connections.
But like you say,
schools,
it is about awareness and, you know, getting us out there as an organisation. I mean, yeah, as you say, 30 years, but I have to be honest, I hadn't heard much until I come across it.
Yeah, well, we had a rebrand about 3 years ago.
So it's
I love it.
up.
It looks beautiful. I love it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I really like it. I love circles.
But we're working with the clients to find out what they're missing because it's all about what's missing in the community.
That's good.
Whereas we've got a new group now, which is because kids get to adulthood, then they're kicked out, and that's being honest about it.
I know.
They're discharged, and then they're expected to go to adult groups. But adult groups are not always fit for them because it'll be of someone 40 plus and all that.
Well, no, and we also just literally talked to the author, and I was saying, I said, is it that an adult brain is fully developed by, I think I'd said, was it 25 years old is when an adult brain is fully developed.
Right.
That is not what we think 18.
No.
And everyone thinks 18, oh, you're a grown up, there you go, off you go, you can go off and do that.
Going exactly what you've said and what the author and that is literally why we've kind of seen that gap.
Yeah.
And we've now started the peer group for the 18 to 25, 26 year olds.
That's brilliant.
Just so they can come and learn rather than being kicked out and then coming back in the service later on when they need everything because they've not had it for 20 years. So it's we're working really hard on that. And also around, we've got a lot of youngsters who have got identity problems around their sexuality and that.
Yeah.
So we're working around that so they can be themselves and talk about it because it's a different world to what we grew up in.
Because as a parent of a son who is he's in his second year at secondary school, and my daughter is due to go to secondary school this year. God, there's a lot of talk about transgender and about sexuality, and I mean, my son's hilarious. I mean, he's like literally, I love him so much. He's so funny. He bought me this mug. He came home and he told me that he said, "Mum, I'm fencing and I'm playing the flute, but I'm not gay." And I said, "Well, I don't care if you're gay." My best friend Robert was gay, and I said, "I don't care whether you're gay or not, but you're Ruben, you're my son, and I love you. You know, thank you very much." But it's such a lovely way that he was just like, he said it in such a way that was so matter of fact.
Yes.
And I feel like that stigma's moved on. Thank bloody God. But there is a lot about transgender that is coming up in conversations that I'm having with my peer group, as in I'm not talking about it, but I'm hearing a lot of people going, I'm worried about my children going to school because I'm worried about this has been said and I'm worried about that's been said, and it's coming up a lot, and it is something that is important, and
it's very much a topic at the moment, isn't it?
It seems to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And we find that from the youngsters or the youth and all that we deal with and work with, support, also from other clients and people that we meet generally. Yeah. And I think even myself, I get quite confused because there's so many different terminologies.
I just get so worried about offending.
Exactly. You have to be so careful.
I'm literally always thinking I'm going to say the wrong thing.
So this is going to be, with that group, it's going to be along the lines of them supporting each other, but also educating us.
Brilliant.
So we can educate their families again with what's right and what's wrong and what's not.
So good.
So
it's just about shining a light on these subjects, isn't it? Bringing something to the light and then releasing the anxieties that have been hidden in people for so long. About
didn't we win
emotions.
Eurovision on that song? Didn't we? Shine a light. Yeah.
Sorry, saying I'm cheesy.
Did we actually win a song?
That was Katrina in the Waves, isn't it? Yeah, I remember watching it.
All right, okay. Yeah. Well, next time you could come and dress as something out of Eurovision if you like. I'd love to see that. But no, you're right with the youth, because like Rachel, who is my absolute superstar, she's 23. Oh my God. I mean, she pulls me up on things that I don't even know. Yeah. She doesn't. I mean, I like to think that I'm sensitive, but she will say, oh no, actually she sees things from a totally different angle from this 47-year-old, it's important and it's vital, and those communications. So that, I think that's a really important gap, because I only found that out through there's an Australian speaker, Kerwin Ray, who's he's great guy that does lots of work with children around mental health. And it was him, I listened to one of his talks, and he was talking about, he actually said he'd come on the show at some point, but he was talking about the fact that, you're not actually fully developed till that age. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was in shock. I was like, what? Really? That's like, you just think...
It's because we're all conditioned
Yeah.
to actually think, okay, you're of that age now, you're an adult, and that's
now
it.
you can go and buy a house, get married.
Exactly. Yeah. Where in fact,
go to the pub.
Yeah. No, it's true though, isn't it? It really is. Yeah.
It is.
Like the key to the door and all that stuff, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
I think from my understanding, there's this awful statistic where 50% of mental health conditions are established by the age of 14.
Oh my word.
And 75% are established by the age of 24.
Wow.
So that's what we're having to work with in our society, in our community at the moment, just trying to reach as many young people as possible to try and help them with the confusions of being a young person in 2023. I mean, it must be
if you can give them the tools at that age.
Yeah.
You know, and again, going back to the NHS, if I can give someone the tools at a young age, then that will help them going forward. Whereas if you leave it until a later time, then it's too late sometimes because they've had no life prior to that. So you can't help them go forward. You're limited. And that's why catch it at an early stage, help, support, and give tools and let them learn so they can take it forward and realise that might be different, but life can be life still.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just think it's amazing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, obviously the best place to reach you is to go to your website.
Yes. So our website is www.mentalhealthresource.org.uk.
And Instagram and Facebook. Are you on all of those?
Facebook.
We are. A bit frustratingly, the handles aren't the same for each platform.
Oh,
so
I have this problem everywhere.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
And there are old handles from our old name
in the comments.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, brilliant. That would be super helpful.
We will help people, but basically everything people need to know is on the website.
If they go to the website, everything's there. All the different areas that we work in, referral forms, how to contact us. It's all there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the time, they'll have the timetables as well, so it gives them an idea what groups we run.
Yes.
That's all on the website.
And as the fundraiser, I should probably also say, if any companies are out there or individuals looking to support our small mental health charity, last year we supported 802 people. So that hopefully gives a scale of an idea of the scale that we're working to. But yeah, we'd love any involvement at all. Any volunteers that might be interested.
Brilliant.
Anyone that can donate or join us.
Just give us a call.
Yes.
Well, I know my partner Gary Jeffrey, who you met on the night, is very keen to work with you because
he's a lovely man.
Yeah, he is a lovely man, and I mean, he lost his brother at 14.
Wow.
And through a motorbike accident, and I mean, he's only just at 56 dealing with his mental health issues. He's done a lot of work over the last 5 years. He and I, and it's.
Yeah.
The sooner you can get,
a long
the sooner
journey.
You can get in. It is a long journey.
Well, it's a lifelong journey.
Yeah. And if you will not look at the only thing you have any control over is yourself.
Yeah.
So I keep saying this to
Yeah,
people.
it's true.
I'm like, you can't, I can't say you made me feel this way.
Yeah.
It's what you.
That's it.
It's all conditional to yourself. I totally agree. It really is. Yeah. It's not.
You've got to work from the root cause.
That's it.
But people have got to really be ready to do the work. And sadly, sometimes people are scared, and that must be where. Organisations like yours is such a great help because you can give them that little bit of, it's like Polly Pickering will give people a hug. And I imagine you got, you're lovely. I mean, honestly, your story was not just so compelling, but if I can feel that in people, and I can feel it in you as well, then that makes me want to do more.
Thank you.
It's just a natural, it's just a natural thing.
And I think people see that and clients see that, and you need to be passionate about what you do because people will see through you.
Of course they will.
Yeah.
Of course they will.
And as a recovering alcoholic and whatever with my own issues, I know because I do it all the time and I look through, you do. And that's it. So just be truthful.
Recovering alcoholics, we're like truth sleuths. We see them coming.
We do. My other half always says to me things and I'm like, look, how do you know that? Don't worry, I know everything.
I know. Gary just goes to another wall. He's like, oh my God, you're like a witch you are. I'm like, well, I've been called a witch for a long time. A white witch, obviously.
Of course.
So my next guest, I'm not going to talk about it now because I've got very exciting projects I'm working on with you guys.
Okay.
That's other than the soapbox.
Yes.
And I'm not going to talk about it now.
Okie doke.
Because I'm going to talk about it with him or her. or him or her. But it's something that we're going to be doing with you guys. And it's very exciting.
It is. It's very, very exciting.
Yeah, he approached me about working on it. So I'm fully throwing myself into that too.
Wow, thank you.
So we're going to be doing that as well. So yeah, he's going to be chatting to me next about it.
Is he here?
He's turned up.
Oh.
He or she.
Oh, he or she.
He or she. But people will know about it soon.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Then they will definitely know where you are.
Brilliant.
Yes.
That's all we're going to say.
That's all they're going to say.
That's all we're going to say on the subject.
Oh, thank you.
But thank you so. Have we missed anything?
No,
I don't think so.
That was great,
I
wasn't
hope
it?
not.
Really nice.
Yeah, it was lovely to chat. Thank you.
It was so lovely to have you on. And I'm so sorry I haven't replied to some of your WhatsApp messages.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm like, literally, she's lovely. She's always checking in if I'm okay. And then I'm like, oh my God, I've literally got so many WhatsApp groups. I can't keep up with them. But I am okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I am, my love. I'm good. Thank you very much. And please keep WhatsApping me because I love getting WhatsApps.
I will.
I'm a WhatsApper. I tend to voice note, but Ray, get my number. Drop me a voice. Yeah, love it. I love it. We'll have a little WhatsApp group. But, if I don't ever get back to you, I'll always get back to you eventually.
Don't worry. No,
I'd hate to think I'm one of those rude people that just ignores people, ghosts people. No. I'm not a ghoster. I'm a white witch, not a ghost. Okay, that's what I'd like to say. But thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for what you're doing. So yes, honestly, everyone check out Mental Health Resource and
thanks for having us.
Give you as much support as you can. And Pushkin Antiques very kindly donated this episode for you.
They did. And thank you so much to them.
That's a great platform. Yeah, so
it really was. I mean, they we auctioned up an episode of this,
and thank you for
did that.
Yeah.
No, you're very welcome, and they did that for you. So that was amazing. So
they did
again,
and thank you to everyone who also donated prizes that evening.
Yeah, there was a lot of support.
There was so much support.
This is the problem you have, and you will know this as a fundraiser. You can't remember everybody.
No.
When you go on the radio, it's the worst because you're literally like, oh, I missed that person off, and it's live. So we will share the love with everybody that's helping you because we can get that out before the episode. So
that's amazing.
So thank you for coming on to the big chat.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
No, thank you. And before I go, can I just ask? I would like to have a big chat badge. Is that okay?
Yeah,
because they're out there, aren't they? I saw them on the way in. Thank you very much.
Have fun. Yeah, I should make my guests wear them.
Yeah, totally. I love it.
What am I doing? I should have badges made and everything.
I'm a badge freak. I said to you, didn't I? I love badges. Yeah, I've got to get a badge. Yeah.
Oh, bless you. Yeah,
thank you.
I'll get you a cap if you want.
See.
I'll get you a cap. I can see you in a cap.
Yeah.
I like a trucker's cap.
Yeah, I like a trucker's cap.
Do you like a trucker's cap? Okay, all right, done. That's the deal. Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Well, listen, lovely to talk to you.
And you.
Onwards and upwards, and we're going to have a good year, and it's going to be very exciting.
Definitely.
And the team will talk to you about a cart.
Thank you very much.
I can only imagine what yours is going to look like. I've no idea, but I think it's going to be fun.
I'm not creative, so
I'll be there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I mean, Eurovision Song Contest. I'm just like, but it was lovely to talk to you.
And
thank
you so much.
Thanks for coming on the big chat. Thank you. Bye.